Like the USL on Facebook, they will release the best content delivered to you. The officials for tonight's match are referee Elaine Love, assistant referees Peter Penley and Moses Smith. The fourth official is Alexis Vaughn. The official time will be kept on the field by the referee, and the additional time on the clock will be indicated by the fourth official on the sideline. Tonight's starting lineup for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. At goalkeeper, number 50, Achille Fitzgerald. On defense, number 15, Zach Portillos. On defense, number 17, Tam McAndor. On defense, number 27, Hunter Wolsey. At midfield, number 4, Marcel Shaker. At midfield, number 7, Jimmy Flemings. At midfield, number 11, Leo Fernandez. At midfield, number 23, Michael Nacho. At midfield number 25, Lance Rosen. At midfield number 26, Joe Cole. And forward number 8, Joe Drive. The head coach of the Tampa Bay Rowdies is Neil Collins. TSC2 substitutes for tonight's match are goalkeeper number 40, Andrew Shepard. On defense number 43, Icon Andrews. Midfielder number 37, Gideon Wyatt. Midfielder number 51, Malik Hamilton. Midfielder number 42, Stephen Eads. Midfielder number 39, Luka Petrasa. On defense number 46, Marco Mendekic. And now, the TFC2 starting 11. At goalkeeper number 28, Caleb Patterson Sewell. On defense number 77, Brandon Alconi. On defense number 61, Antonio Rocco Romeo. On defense number 49, Robert Basuvic. On defense number 38, Kyle Bjornford. At midfield.
BMO Field is our setting this afternoon as Toronto FC2 returns home from a mini two-game road trip and will host the Tampa Bay Rowdies in an Eastern Conference clash. Two teams both hungry for a victory. Hello everyone, welcome inside. I'm Matt Antonio, flying solo today, but happy to bring you all the action here between Toronto and Tampa Bay, a pair of clubs who are both reeling a little bit and in need of a victory as they hope to move up the Eastern Conference standings. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings board right now. You see Tampa Bay just 1 point out, sitting with 13 on the season. They'll hope to elevate into that top 8 today, and Toronto still looking for that first victory of the 2018 campaign. Let's highlight the visiting Tampa Bay Rowdies captain. It is the veteran 36-year-old midfielder Joe Cole has had success against Toronto in the past, 3 goals in 10 appearances here in 2018 for the Rowdies. On the other side, the captain for Toronto will be Luca Uccello. Had a pair of goals last week in Atlanta in Toronto's 5-4 eventual loss, and he is rounding into form a little bit. Let's take a look at those goals from that match in Atlanta last week. His first good build-up play from Toronto, Ao Akinola slides it across the box, and Uccello is there with a one-touch strike into the bottom left corner of the goal. His second of the night, also a good build-up, gets in behind the defenders. A little bit fortunate on the rebound, but slips it past the keeper for the brace for Toronto. Again, they ultimately fell 5-4 in that contest. Both teams looking for points, hungry for a victory. We'll have lineups and more when we return to BMO Field. It's Toronto FC 2 and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. This is how they will line up. Goalkeeper Akira Fitzgerald will make his second consecutive start after Cody Mizell started the first 9 for the Rowdies. And of course, we highlighted Joe Cole, who will be a facilitator in midfield. On the home side, their starting 11 will look like this. In goal, it's Caleb Patterson-Sewell making his 4th appearance of the season, spelling Gianluca Catalano, who had started the previous 2 matches following the injury to Angelo Cavalluzzo. Sean Hundle will be up front with Malik Johnson. Head coach of Toronto FC 2 is Laurent Gaillou, still looking for that first victory with his club in his first season at the helm of Toronto FC 2. Previously did work with Toronto FC 3 in the TFC Academy. He will be opposed by Neil Collins, and what a week it's been for Collins. He was the started at center back for the Rowdies in their 1-0 loss to Richmond on May 12th. That resulted in head coach Stuart Campbell being let go. According to the team, it was a mutual decision to part ways on May 17th. Then on May 18th, Collins was promoted to head coach, and the very next day had his first match at the helm. It was a 2-2 draw at home against Pittsburgh. That snapped a 3-game losing streak for the Rowdies. So Collins moving from the pitch onto the sidelines. The team has said he will not play, so we won't see a player-coach situation, but he's still listed on the roster, so can't rule it out for sure. Toronto will have some youth in the lineup this afternoon, as they always do. We're going to keep an eye on Dante Campbell making his 3rd appearance of the season for the Young Reds. And Tampa Bay, in addition to not winning in any of their previous 5 road games, after winning their first game of the season on the road, they have not scored on the road in those 5 games. They have been outscored 11-0 in those 5 games that they have lost away from Al Lang Stadium. Toronto, they are 0-2-2 at home, 0-0-2 here at BMO Field, as they have had 1 technical home game down in Rochester and 1 at Monarch Park in the city's East End. But we are underway here in Toronto. The Young Reds in the all-red kits. The Rowdies in the green and yellow horizontally striped jerseys with the green shorts to round out their kit. That's Dante Campbell with it. He is dispossessed, and that is sent forward by Tampa Bay. A little bit of a different formation for the Rowdies, and Neil Collins' first match with a full week of training using a 3-man defensive back line. It is Tamika Makandawiri making his 2018 season debut. He will be at center back. Zachary Portillos on his left and Hunter Gorski on his right. Portillos and Gorski, the only 2 Rowdies who have played every minute of their season so far. And that's sent out for a goal kick. Akira Fitzgerald, as I mentioned, making his 2nd consecutive start. So both games under Collins, he goes with Fitzgerald instead of Cody Mizell. But Mizell, the veteran keeper, is available as the backup here this afternoon at BMO Field. Long ball sent in over the top, looking to find Jochen Graf, veteran German striker. Has not scored yet for the Rowdies this season in 10 appearances. So definitely one thing that we'll keep an eye on this afternoon is how the Rowdies play, again, under the new leadership of Neil Collins. It's got to be an interesting dynamic when it's a former player, a guy who you were out on the pitch with for the majority of this season. He's now calling the shots from the sidelines, but a veteran player. He played 67 games for the Rowdies in his career, nearly 600 professional competitive matches across his career. Several stops in England. In 2011, moved to Sheffield United, played nearly 200 games for them. So he is certainly not without experience on the pitch, and the Rowdies are hoping that that will transfer to the sidelines. The team did well to get a result in his first match at the helm. The challenge here now to start implementing his ideas and philosophies. Gorski pushes that up for Junior Fleming's cross in, looking for Graf, and just failed to connect. It's a header that was sent out of play. We'll get another look at that good build-up play, starting with the long ball there from Gorski, finding Flemings in behind Bjornathan. And just a little bit behind Graf on the timing. And he was looking to push it forward into the goal, but it's out for a goal kick. Bjornathan. There's Campbell. Robert Boscovich sends it out onto the right side. Brandon Onconi. Chipped over for Bjornathan. Trying to pick out Uccello in the middle of the park. Uccello gets the boot up a little bit high there. Whistle coming immediately from our referee this afternoon is Alain Ruch. Cross there came in from Bjornathan, and Uccello actually got his boot up all the way into the shoulder. And maybe a little bit fortunate that there wasn't a card there. We are just approaching the 5-minute mark of the first half here at BMO Field. It's on Johnson trying to get a step there on Gorski, but played well by the Rowdies defender, Campbell. Rocco Romeo, Robert Boscovich. Chip forward by Hundle. Looking to pick out Jordan Faria on the far side. Faria scoring a goal, the only goal for Toronto in Charlotte last week, their 2-1 loss. Graf. On the near side, they pick out Flemings. Flemings with an opportunity. Good save by Patterson Sewell. Diving to his right and keeping Tampa Bay off the board. Trying to pick out Faria again with the long ball there was Malik Johnson. So that's second consecutive possession. Toronto trying to find a long stretch ball for the youngster Faria. Well defended there by Onconi. It's Matthew Serbel out for Faria. Dispossessed in midfield. Another long ball here on the right side looking for Flemings. Bjornathan able to get ahead to it. The Toronto keeper will slow things down as we get another look at his most recent piece of work. Flemings does well to stay on side. Maybe trying to push it a little bit farther out to the post, but Caleb did well to read that shot, going to ground and punching it away. Good defensive coverage by his teammates to ensure the rebound was not deposited into the net. Hundle pulled down there and tugged from Hunter Gorski. Will be a free kick to Toronto. Luca Uccello will take it, riding the hot hand at a pair of goals in Atlanta 10 days ago. Tries to swing it just in front of the 6-yard box, but is well read by Fitzgerald and cleared by the Rowdies keeper. And a quick counter coming from the Rowdies. Flemings takes some time to send it back to Gorski. That's pushed out on the left side. Leo Fernandez is in an offside position. The flag is up from the linesman on the near side. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. The latest Select products and special offers. Visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. There's Malik Johnson. Marked there by Flemings. Pushing in the middle. Uccello! Oh, what a great reaction save there from Fitzgerald, who was hit at him. Didn't have to move much, but was able to get the hands up and knock it away. But a good strike from Uccello, forcing a save from Fitzgerald. Looking to find Hundle in the middle of the area, and that's cleared out by Tampa Bay. First strong scoring opportunity of the afternoon for Toronto. Let's take one more look. This all comes from Malik Johnson, getting around Junior Flemings, and a perfect pass into Uccello, well struck. And Toronto again forcing the issue, and this is out for a corner. Matthew Serbel taken down. Referee Alan Ruksch says no penalty, but it was last touch to Tampa Bay. So it will be a corner for the Young Reds. I think that's probably the right call there. Good tackle there from Michael Nanchoff. Read it well, timed it perfectly, knocked the ball away. Toronto wins the corner. Uccello to swing it in. Fitzgerald goes up and naps it over the head of Robert Boscovich. And we'll slow things down once again. So some opportunities for Toronto here in the opening 11 minutes. And both goalkeepers have been forced to make one strong save. And once again, Tampa Bay finding some joy down that right side. Fleming's crossed in, and it's knocked away by Boscovich. This is the third time inside 11 minutes. Fleming's able to run onto that long ball over the top. Clearly a point of emphasis for Tampa Bay, and I believe that was actually, it wasn't Boscovich who came back to make the defense. Might have been Bjornathan, actually. Dante Campbell steps in to pick it away for Toronto, but gives it right back. Tampa Bay whistled for the foul there. So both of these teams struggling to score. Tampa Bay struggling to score on the road in their last 5 matches. Toronto struggling to score at home. So we have the recipe for a low-scoring game here this afternoon, but it looks like both clubs are making offense a priority, trying to get that opening marker. Here's Sean Hundle. Hundle has Uccello with him. It's knocked away. And it's last touch to Hundle, so will be a goal kick. It was well marked there by Roseboom. This time it's Jochen Graf on the right side, that right flank. Another high ball over the top. Instead of Fleming's, they push it a little bit further, and it's Graf who swings across and runs to it, but that is guilty of the infraction and gives away the possession. On Coney, poor first touch there, gives it back to the Rowdies. Fernandez trying to push forward. I believe it was Schaefer who was in the area looking for a through ball, but one back by Toronto. And now another Tampa Bay foul. It's Jochen Graf who got whistled, but he got the worst of it as he's down with a little bit of pain on that left foot or ankle maybe. So we'll get another look. And Campbell did actually step on his left foot, but the contact originally coming from Graf, which is what the referee had called, is a couple of players who had just tumbled out of control. Uccello not able to pull that down cleanly. Hundle in the area, cleared by Tampa Bay. On Coney, chipping forward. That's Faria. Into the middle for Matthew Serbel. Uccello able to spin away from his marker. Pass doesn't connect, but he gets it back. Malik Johnson frees it up for Serbel. Trying to pick out Hundle. Takes a deflection off a Rowdies defender. Bjornathan steps in to win that away from Graf, but Graf is able to win it back and forces Bjornathan into a foul. Here's Makandawire. Flemings. Flemings picks up the ricochet, finds Graf in the middle of the park. Nice one touch over the top for Schaefer, and he sends it over the goal. Marcel Schaefer does well to settle that down. It was a good build-up from Tampa Bay. Good chip from Fernandez. Onconi got ahead to it, but it landed right to Schaefer, and the left-footed strike is just over. Bjornathan keeps it in for Boskovic. Serbal trying to win that down. There's Schaefer, marked by Campbell. Serbal trying to win it back. Campbell again does. Schaefer collects the loose ball, and there's Roseboom. Makandawire. Fernandez. Schaefer. Fernandez. Chipped in looking for Graf. And Patterson Sewell reads it well. Hamilton. Campbell. Bjornathan. Campbell. Not able to get around Nanchov. And it'll be the first booking of the afternoon here in the 18th minute. And Campbell slow to his feet. Serbal. Bjornathan. Bjornathan. Not able to deflect it off the defender and just carries it out for a goal kick. I think he might have thought that it was taking a deflection off of Gorski, but it didn't. And he had an opportunity to try and chip it off the Tampa Bay defender and win Toronto a corner. Bit of a mental mistake there from Bjornathan. Boskovic wins it away from Flemings. There's Faria. Joe Cole. Swings it out wide left. There's Schaefer. And easily handled by the Toronto keeper. Johnson gives it away, but took a deflection off Cole, and Toronto will throw. Schaefer. Flemings is in the area, not able to collect that cleanly. And Malik Johnson. And Boskovic will try again. Intercepted by Cole, played back into the area, no one there for the Rowdies. As the high press of Tampa Bay forcing mistakes and turnovers from Toronto, and Luca Uccello I don't think will be able to get away from discipline this time, and Luca Uccello will go in the book. His second aggressive challenge of the day. And again, it's Roseboom that he is collided with, trying to plead innocence, but not working. So both sides into the book with a yellow card, Nanchoff and Uccello. Graf is in behind and offside flag is up. It's a gorgeous afternoon here in Toronto. I mentioned that in the early goings of our broadcast. 28 degrees Celsius, 82 Fahrenheit. Feels a little bit warmer than that, closer to 32 Celsius and 90 Fahrenheit. Not any wind to speak of that would affect the play at all. Just a very, very comfortable afternoon down near Lake Ontario. Uccello trying to pick out Hundle. He is offside, so both teams trying to exploit the ball in behind the back lines, and just a little bit overzealous. And here again on the right side for Tampa Bay, Flemings will run onto it, being guarded by Bjornathan. And this is last touch Tampa Bay, so it will be a goal kick to Toronto. Looked from up here like it might have been last touch Bjornathan in a corner, but the linesman who is right on top of the situation, I'm going to trust his instincts and his eyes over mine for all the way up here. But another turnover forced by Tampa Bay. There's Graf, and once again, Graf is offside. Get a player's perspective of all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blakedown on the USL YouTube channel. And Jack Blake is available off the bench as a substitute for the Rowdies here this afternoon. Turned over in midfield, but Toronto able to regain control. This is Roseboom. Held in on the far side. Looking for a Graf in the middle. Fleming's there as well, and he scores! It's Junior Flemings beating Caleb Patterson-Sewell. And in the 24th minute, the Rowdies are on top, and the lengthy goalless streak on the road has been snapped. Graf might have been the intended target, but Flemings was right there as well. It's his first goal of the season, his first goal as a Tampa Bay Rowdy. So Toronto once again will be playing from behind, and Tampa Bay is looking for more. Fleming's in with it again. Fleming's looking for an option, played into the middle, and there's a save by Patterson-Sewell off the foot of Joe Cole. Another opportunity, there's Fernandez is blocked. Another strike, and it's a goal! A second for Tampa Bay. It's Michael Nanchoff. The Rowdies are up 2. You could feel it coming. Flemings played it into the middle. A first stop from Patterson-Sewell. Another block. A second block. And then finally the long strike from Michael Nanchoff. And you see the frustration from Caleb Patterson-Sewell. Toronto have conceded twice in a span of about 90 seconds. And Tampa Bay not done yet. Joe Cole pulled down, and it will be a yellow card to Kyle Bjornathan. And things unraveling a little bit here for Toronto in the opening 25 minutes. Marcel Schaefer, the left foot will swing this in, and it's pushed away. Toronto conceded 2 goals on set pieces in Atlanta, defended that one well. Let's get one more look at this second Tampa Bay goal. A left-footed strike from Michael Nanchoff. It looks like Patterson Sewell got a fingertip to it, but just not enough, as Nanchoff with the powerful strike from distance. And Neil Collins has to be happy with what he sees from his side in the first half hour here, his first road match as the head coach of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And in his second match overall, they've got a pair of goals again. His offense has been hard to come by for the Rowdies. Uccello trying to win that away from Nanchoff. Not successful. It's headed forward by Boskovic. Malik Johnson surrounded by a pair of Rowdies. This will be out for a Tampa Bay throw. Kandawire will just leave it there for Akira Fitzgerald. Pushed up the park. Romeo heads it forward for Toronto. This will come down for Boskovic. They'll run after it. Bjornathan lets this run out for a throw. There's Neil Collins. Scott pleased with the performance from his side through half an hour. As we are approaching the half-hour mark, about 90 seconds away from that. Serble, Faria, Campbell, Bjornathan. Romeo. Bjornathan. Our challenge there from Flemings. And it's going to be a free kick to Toronto. That was a heavy, heavy collision between Bjornathan and Flemings. Those two have been in each other's pocket all afternoon, mainly in the Toronto end. This time down in the corner near the Tampa Bay goal. And an aggressive challenge there from Flemings. And Flemings actually has taken the brunt of it. He is down in some discomfort. And he'll need attending to from the Tampa Bay medical staff. Appears to be some discomfort in that right leg, right thigh. No signal of yet that a substitution might be needed. Will be a free kick to Toronto. Luca Uccello to take it. Had one inside 10 minutes from almost the exact same spot. Swung in with the right foot. Romeo got a touch to it, deflected back towards Malik Johnson, but he wasn't able to get a shot away. This is headed up and over, and will be out for a corner to Toronto. An opportunity here for the Young Reds to cut into the deficit. Punched away by Fitzgerald. Comes down to Johnson. Hundle. Referee waves off the handball despite the pleas from Toronto. And now it's going to be a foul to Matthew Serbel. And he will protest that as well. Comes off the turnaround strike from Hundal. I don't see much there. I think the referee got it right. Was turning his back. Might have clipped him on the elbow or the top of the arm, but not sure you'll get that call very often. Pushed forward by Faria. Toronto had a couple of opportunities there on the set pieces and not able to generate a goal. They're at it again. Campbell with the long ball, looking for Faria to run onto it, and this will run a little bit too far. It will come out for a goal kick. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. They do a good job of in-game highlights and GIFs and graphics, so if you're out and about and not able to tune into the match, you can still follow your favorite club and see how they're doing live in real time.
Nothing.
Corner.
That'll be out for a corner as Groff takes a bump from Romeo, and it was last touch Toronto. Swung in by Schaefer, headed away. Cello knocks that out towards midfield. Bjornathan already sitting on a yellow. An aggressive challenge there against Junior Flemings. I mentioned it a couple of minutes ago when Flemings was down in the Tampa Bay side of the pitch. Those two have been at each other all afternoon. Roseboom, Makandawire. Fitzgerald. Hundal. Serbolt. Pressure there from Fernandez, forces it back to Romeo. Serbolt and Onconi. Serbolt will turn back towards the middle of the park. Not able to get away from Schaefer. And Tampa Bay's on the counter-attack. Fernandez with a strike, and it's over. Gorski being whistled there. Now Junior Fleming's getting a lecture from the referee. Is Tampa Bay not happy with that call? Here's Onconi. Over the top, looking to pick out Faria. And this is sent out for another Toronto throw. Onconi will race forward to take it for the home side. Johnson goes up and not able to connect with that long pass. In 2 meetings last season, Tampa Bay got the better of Toronto on both occasions. On April 1st at Al Lang Stadium, it was a 4-0 victory for the hosts. And then in the return engagement on May 19th at the Ontario Soccer Centre, despite an early goal from Luca Uccello in the 10th minute, Tampa Bay scored 3 times in the second half en route to a 3-1 victory. Joe Cole scoring a goal in each of those 2 matches against Toronto last season. And Luca Uccello scoring the only goal for Toronto against the Rowdies a year ago. Those 2 men wearing the captain's armbands here at BMO Field this afternoon. Another aggressive challenger, that one from Boskovic. Thought at first it might have been Bjornathan, and thought he was really playing with fire. Bjornathan and Uccello on yellows for Toronto. And Michael Nanchoff has collected one for Tampa Bay. He also has a goal for Tampa Bay. It was the second for the visitors. And there's another yellow card to the Rowdies. That's Joe Cole who collects this one in the 40th minute. Cole just stabs forward with that right foot. Connected with the top of Campbell's. Seeing a good note from the Tampa Bay Rowdies game day Twitter feed. That is the 4th yellow card of the season for Joe Cole, so he is officially on accumulation warning. His next yellow card will result in a one-match suspension. Campbell trying to pick out either Cello or Serble, but it landed right in the middle of them, not close enough to either one of them to be a factor. Boscovich stumbles there. Fernandez in the area. Joe Cole there as well, applying pressure. And here's Romeo. Boscovich. Romeo. Bjornathan pokes it away for Campbell. Boscovich. As Tampa Bay have settled into a nice defensive structure here as they protect that 2-goal advantage here in the opening half. Cello trying to pick out Hundle. Well defended by the Rowdies. Campbell whistled there. Leo Fernandez. Nanchoff. Broken up by Toronto. Put in the area looking for Graf. It runs through to Flemings. Flemings has the opening marker of today's contest, his first as a member of the Rowdies. Michael Nanchoff followed with his first of the season as well. Goals about the 24th and 25th minutes. That's where we stand right now, 2-0 advantage to the visitors. That takes a deflection by Graf, as Patterson Sewell took a little bit too much time with that pass. We will have 1 minute of added time here at BMO Field to wrap up this first half. This is Faria. Romeo. Boscovich. Through ball for Graf. Graf with an opportunity. He's got some help on his left side. Spins back for Flemings. Flemings played in for Fernandez. Offside flag is up. Patterson Sewell got an arm to it, but the offside flag was up. Would not have counted, and that is likely the final play of this opening half. There is the first half whistle. Some opportunities both ways in the opening 10 minutes, and then Tampa Bay breaking through in the 24th minute. Junior Flemings finding the back of the goal. Michael Nanshoff with a marker as well, and the lengthy goalless drought for the Rowdies on the road came to an end here at BMO Field in the opening half, and at the end of 45 minutes, the Rowdies, sitting on a 4-match winless streak, are in a good position at the break. They lead Toronto FC 2-0 after 45 minutes at BMO Field. We will have halftime stats, highlights, and analysis when we return. It's Toronto FC 2 and Tampa Bay Rowdies. Welcome back inside BMO Field. We are at halftime. The Tampa Bay Rowdies leading Toronto FC 2 by a score of 2-0. Back inside our broadcast booth, I'm Matt Antonio here at halftime. The Rowdies with that 2-0 advantage. In the early going, it was a back and forth affair. We saw chances on both ends. Saves from each goalkeeper, quality saves. Caleb Patterson Sewell with a good diving save to his right to keep Tampa Bay off the board. And then Luca Uccello was denied by Akira Fitzgerald to keep things scoreless. Let's take a look at some of those highlights from the opening half. And we'll begin with that save from Caleb Patterson Sewell as it came off the right foot of Junior Flemings, and a good diving save to the right from the Toronto keeper. This opportunity from Toronto starts with good play from Malik Johnson. He's able to get around Flemings and push it into the middle of the area. Uccello with a one-touch strike, and Fitzgerald is there to punch it away for the visitors. Later in the first half, Flemings sent it across for Graf. Little chip from Fernandez comes onto the left foot of Schaefer, and he sends it over the goal and harmlessly away. Here is the opening goal for Tampa Bay. The cross comes in, might have been looking for Graf, but it's Flemings who is on the end of it with his right foot. There's another look. Does well to get around his man, and no opportunity for the Toronto keeper to get a hand to it and keep it out. That opens Tampa Bay. About 90 seconds later, Tampa Bay comes back again. Flemings, the facilitator once more. Cole had an opportunity, a good save there from the Toronto keeper. Schaefer's shot was blocked. Fernandez's shot was blocked. Comes through to Nanshoff. One-touch strike with the left foot, just out of the reach of Caleb Patterson-Sewell. Might have got a fingertip to it, and frustration there from the Toronto keeper. There are your first half stats. 2-0 to Tampa Bay, 11-5 are the shots, 4-1 shots on target. Corner kicks are even. Possession slightly.
They have been good on their passing percentage, but they have not been able to convert that possession into scoring opportunities, as the high press from Tampa Bay gave them troubles early on, and then after the 2 goals from the Rowdies, they sat back a little bit more. We may see some of that in the second half as well from the visitors as they look to snap a 5-match losing streak on the road. They've finally gotten a goal on the road, and now they will defend that lead. They lead 2-0 at halftime at BMO Field. If you ever wondered what 102 appearances for your club looks like documented, there it is in Chico right there. Brad Ring. With P2. Oh, and it's a goal. What a strike from Los Dos. Efrain Alvarez has come into the game. 15-year-old strikes it. Now Alvarez with the shot, and what a strike by Alvarez, who now has 6 goals in the last 3 matches. Now he just
strikes it with his right foot, and right on cue, a huge goal.
And finds Langsdorff. He takes the shot and puts it in the back of the net. Langsdorff has a brace in the first half.
Takes hesitation step, and it's the save produced by Eric Dick.
Saved by Crapo.
Put numbers back. Will strike it and put it in the back of the net. Marvin Loria likely seals the 3 points with his first ever goal in USL.
This one comes into the center. There's your goal. The goal for OKC. The header by Callum Ross. The streak is over, and the Greens have the lead 1-0. The power outage is no more.
Into the box, takes the shot, and in the back of the net, Aguilar trying to keep it out. The shot taken, and what a save.
Doubles off with Gallagher. Palm this. Put into the ball, gets by, and into the back of the net.
Backside BMO Field as the halftime show rolls on. Tampa Bay leading Toronto FC 2-0 after 45 minutes. Let's take a look around the USL as Week 11 got underway on Wednesday with a few games of note that we'll bring your attention to. Rio Grande Valley and LA Galaxy 2 drawing 1-1 on Wednesday. North Carolina FC with a big 4-0 victory over Atlanta on Friday evening. And Toronto's next opponent, Ottawa Fury FC. couple of games that you're going to want to keep an eye on as Week 11 rolls on later tonight. Portland Timbers 2 and the Real Monarchs, Salt Lake City at 5 o'clock this evening. Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Penn FC, that goes at 7 o'clock. FC Cincinnati, Louisville City FC, 7:30. Of course, all those games available ESPN Plus and the USL Match Center. Let's get into our when those two teams. Keep an eye on that matchup tonight and the impact it has on the Eastern Conference standings. We are through 45 minutes at BMO Field. On the board in the 23rd minute. They scored again 90 seconds later and lead 2-0. The second half is next from BMO Field.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportcharacter.com. Over $50. Your exclusive stories directly from the USL players in USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. Have you know what it takes to beat the experts on USLsoccer.com? Show off your knowledge of the league by picking the right results of USL's matchups each week of the season. Make sure you cast your vote for USL Goal of the Week every Monday evening at USLsoccer.com. As the road to the fan choice USL Goal of the Year continues throughout the season. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. The USL's official Facebook page brings you the best from across the league with news, highlights, and interactive features. Like the USL on Facebook to get the league's best content delivered to you.
A gorgeous afternoon in downtown Toronto, originally calling for rain, thunderstorms, and nasty weather, but it is a perfect day as we transition from spring into summer-type temperatures here in Ontario's capital. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the visiting Tampa Bay Rowdies. After today, they will head back June 9th. 2nd, 9th, and 22nd, Atlanta, Nashville, and Penn FC will visit Al Lang Stadium. Then June 27th, they'll head out to Charlotte and then back home for the return engagement with this Toronto club on Independence Day, July 4th. That's a Wednesday evening and a 7 o'clock kickoff. Let's take a look at Toronto's upcoming schedule, and we will get the inaugural 2018 Ontario Derby as Toronto heads to the nation's capital to take on Ottawa Fury. Then they will take on Penn FC for the second time this season. Back home for two as the Indy 11 are here on June 16th. That game, I believe, is actually in Rochester. And then June 27th, they are home to take on FC Cincinnati. And then Canada Day, the holiday long weekend, it's a Sunday evening game with the holiday the following day and that game is at 8 o'clock following the first team, who are here at BMO Field for a 3 o'clock game that afternoon. As we see players from both sides coming back onto the pitch, and we are about a minute away from the start of the second half, and we'll see what adjustments Laurent Gaillou made during halftime. Does not appear that we'll have any substitutions at this point, but we will see if that is the case or not. Sean Hundle making his 6th appearance of the season for Toronto. He has collected 1 goal so far on the young campaign. Has not really had an opportunity to break free and really create a lot offensively. Kind of a little bit isolated at the top of the formation that the Toronto side is using this afternoon. So we'll see if, especially now that they are needing a goal or two, see if Laurent Gaillou changes up the formation at all. It does look like we are going to get a substitution to begin the second half, and it's going to be Luca Petrasso who is coming in favor of Kyle Bjornathan. Bjornathan sitting on a yellow card and playing quite aggressively in his matchups with Junior Flemings throughout that opening half, so maybe a good idea to get Bjornathan some time off and get some more minutes for Luca Petrasso, who will be making his 4th appearance for Toronto here this afternoon. And we are back underway here at BMO Field. Tampa Bay 45 minutes away from snapping their 5-game road losing streak and their 4-game overall winless streak. And of course, they will be motivated to get the first W for head coach Neil Collins, who's in his 2nd match at the helm of the Rowdies. This near side here is Zach Portillos. Schaefer. Roseboom. Makandawire still trying that long ball up for Flemings on the right flank. That one was read well by Onconi. And with the substitution, we've got a little bit of change in the personnel. Brandon Onconi, who started the game at right back, looks like he's shifted to left back. Dante Campbell appears to have dropped back from midfield into his natural right back position, as Tampa Bay with another opportunity, and that one carried wide by Leo Fernandez and out for a goal kick. So Onconi from right back to left back where Bjornathan had started. Campbell from midfield back to right back where Onconi had played, and Petrasso will slot in the midfield on the left side where Dante Campbell had been playing. Campbell trying to slip it through, takes a deflection off Portillos. Toronto. Uccello swings it in, takes a deflection, cleared away. Petrasso Runs onto it for Toronto. Crossed in, punched away. Rebound is sent wide. Rocco Romeo was there. The first attempt was gloved away by Fitzgerald, and not Romeo. A good job by Petrasso to get the corner, sends it in. And Boskovic, if he could have put it a couple of feet to the left, had some space there, might have been able to get Toronto on the board. Campbell plays through for Faria. Faria's cross comes down to Petrasso. Crossed in. Campbell! It's in! No flags are up! It's last touch to Dante Campbell, and Toronto is on the board. 5 minutes into the second half, they've cut the deficit to 1. It was a harmless looking play. A good ball through from Campbell to Faria. The cross didn't find anybody. Petrasso collected it, sent it back in towards the keeper. And I do believe it was last touch Dante Campbell. Wait for the official announcement inside the stadium. Regardless, it's a goal in the 50th minute. It is Dante Campbell who has been credited with the goal. First of the season. And what a game for him to score in. He spoke to the media earlier this week, saying that he grew up a Chelsea supporter and followed Joe Cole on the field opposite him. Must be an incredible experience for that youngster. That's the first TFC2 goal for debut with the club last season, getting into 11 games. Did not score last year, so congratulations to Dante Campbell on his first professional goal. The first goal that the Young Reds have scored at BMO Field this season. And the script playing out similarly to their last game last Saturday in Charlotte, where they fell behind by a pair and were able to get one back. They pressed but could not find a late equalizer. Robert Boskovic was inches away from scoring late in that game. And here's an opportunity. Faria. Campbell. Hundle pulled down. No call. And actually, I'll have to correct my mistake. I'm remembering the Atlanta game where Boskovic nearly tied it at 5 in the closing moments. It was a similar script in Charlotte, though. Toronto was pressuring late, just not able to find that late goal. Roseboom, Cole. It's Fernandez. Schaefer. That takes a deflection off of Campbell. Keep it in the park. And it's out for a corner to Tampa Bay. To the back post, cleared high up in the air, straight up nearly by Romeo. And Tampa Bay maintains the possession. That's Nanchoff. Pushed all the way back to Fitzgerald. Toronto has responded well here to open the second half, down by a pair, and they score inside the first 5 minutes. Had an opportunity shortly after that, and now they've got the ball again inside the Tampa Bay half. There's Luca Uccello. Trying to play through for Hundle. Pass was off the mark far enough that Tampa Bay is able to dispossess and counterattack, and not a good ball there by Flemings, as it was won away by Boscovich and sent back to the keeper. Matthew Serbel trying to play through for Hundle. There's Faria. Campbell, the goal scorer. Fitzgerald out to make a leaping save. Watch to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL. Follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Patterson-Sewell collects that header and immediately launches it forward. And there's Faria with an opportunity to get around the defender, still in control. He's well marked and is able to dribble it over for Serbel. Long cross. It's hammered by Petrasso off the leg of Roseboom and out for a Toronto throw. Wasted opportunity there for Toronto as the throw in to Malik Johnson is sent out. Hundle trying to win that against Flemings. Boscovich. Romeo. Faria. Good one touch there from Serbel. Back to Faria. Not sure if he was trying to pick out Hundle there. It was over his head and handled easily by the Rowdies. So we'll get a look at the good ball control there from Jordan Faria. It was a couple of moments ago. Didn't lead to a Toronto scoring opportunity, but good promise shown by the young Toronto player who's making just his third appearance for the Young Reds this season. Just 17 years old is Jordan Faria. Tampa Bay is going to have the corner kick here, but following that, we're going to see a substitution for Toronto, the second of the afternoon. Schaefer pushes that forward. Cleared by Toronto. Towards midfield. Malik Johnson. 1v1 against Portillos. Turns the corner, slides it over, and well defended by Tampa Bay. Comes to Uccello. Takes a deflection. I think that went off the face of Makandawire, and it's out for a corner. But a good bit of work there from Malik Johnson. We're going to see the substitution now here in the 60th minute. It's Icom Andrews coming in for Sean Hundle. It's a good bit of defending there from Joe Cole on the first, and then, yeah, right off the face. Not sacrificing your body for the team. Uccello headed forward by Campbell, looking for, or excuse me, Boscovich, 49. And it's out for a goal kick. Half an hour to go here in Toronto. The visitors holding a 2-1 advantage over Toronto FC2. Goals in the 24th and 25th minutes from Junior Flemings and Michael Nanchov gave Tampa Bay the lead, which they carried into halftime. Dante Campbell cut the deficit to 1 in the 50th minute. Joe Cole runs down that long ball from Fitzgerald. Will be guarded by Onconi, and Onconi a little too aggressive. Will be a free kick to Tampa Bay. Good spot coming here for the Rowdies. As he has on most set pieces here this afternoon, it will be Marcel Schaefer. Cleared away by Toronto. And Uccello makes the block, and Uccello is away. Uccello with an opportunity. He's being chased down from behind. Uccello into the area, slides it over for Andrews. Goal! It's Malik Johnson. A beautiful play from Luca Uccello, and we are level in Toronto. Uccello does well, wins it away in the first stage, and then a gamble by the Rowdies defender. Uccello with the block and is off to the races, feels the back pressure, and it makes a beautiful pass over to Malik Johnson, who slips it into the bottom of the net. And game on in Toronto in the 63rd minute.
Toronto FC2 goal scorer, 63rd minute, on number 56, Malik Johnson.
And Tampa Bay coming right back. Trying to pull back ahead. Looks like we're going to see the first substitution for the Rowdies as there is an injured player down. That was Portillos, who looked to have been banged up a little bit on that play with Uccello. That is Portillos who is down. Let's get another look at Malik Johnson's equalizer. Uccello off to the races, being chased down from behind by Portillos, felt the pressure, and great finish from Malik Johnson. Tougher than it looked, as Fitzgerald read it well that there would be a pass across from Uccello. And Johnson with precision into the bottom left corner. But it does appear we're going to have a substitution here for the Rowdies. Looks like it's number 16, Max Lakawecki, who will be coming in for the injured Zach Portillos.
Tampa Bay substitution, number 61, checking into match number 16, Max Lakawecki. Checking out of match number 15, Zach Portillos.
Should mention for Malik Johnson, that's his first of the season. And Johnson has appeared in all 11 games for the Young Reds now this season and gets rewarded with his first goal. And Toronto looking for more. Johnson will run onto it on that left side. Andrews is in the middle. Johnson, it takes a deflection and it's out for a corner. A second substitution coming momentarily for the Rowdies. It's going to be Sebastian Guenzati. But that will wait until following this corner kick from Luca Uccello. Comes down to Toronto. That's Campbell. Played forward. Offside flag is up. I believe that was Boscovich who was in behind. Substitution will be made now by Tampa Bay. It's going to be Leo Fernandez who will be coming out in favor of Guenzati in the 67th minute. Joe Cole. Counter opportunity here for Tampa Bay. Schaefer plays in for Graf. Offside flag is up again. Andrews played too far for Serbold. It's taken by Romeo. Faria. Uccello with some space on the left side as he passes midfield. Uccello. Johnson into the area, trying to pick out Andrews, headed away by Roseboom. Uccello. Petrasso. Uccello trying to play in for Andrews. And it's snapped up by Fitzgerald. Here's Graff. Cole. Cole swings it in. Fleming's got a foot to it. Was being pulled down by Onconi. Tampa Bay hollering for a penalty. They do not get one, and it's out for a goal kick. You could see the wheels spinning in the head of Joe Cole, trying to pick out that pass. Onconi and Flemings came together at the far post. And the referee decides it was clean. Rule that went out past the end line, and it's a goal kick taken quickly by Toronto. On the far side, it's Luca Petrasso. Rocco Romeo, heavy first touch, is able to power forward. Andrews in a battle there with Makenda Wire.
Hey!
Far side for Petrasso. Joe Cole there marking him. Petrasso slips one defender, tries to cross into the area. It's blocked, and Joe Cole will collect for the counter for Tampa Bay. Pushing forward for Junior Flemings. Marked by Onconi. Last touch Tampa Bay. Toronto will throw as we're into the 72nd minute. Under 20 to go here at BMO Field in Toronto. We are deadlocked at 2. Tampa Bay scoring twice in the first half. Goals in the 24th and 25th minutes from Flemings and Nanchoff. Toronto in the second half, goals in the 50th from Campbell and the 63rd from Johnson. Half-pulled level. There's an aggressive elbow from Rocco Romeo, and it's going to be a yellow card for the Toronto defender. Good shot there in slow motion. You can see the heavy contact made there. Just reckless from Romeo. Goes to the far post, and it's a goal for Tampa Bay. What a brilliantly executed free kick. It's Hunter Gorski who slips into the back post, and on the volley puts Tampa Bay ahead. It's actually headed in by Gorski. A beautiful execution. Right past Caleb Patterson-Sewell, and it is 3-2 Tampa Bay. first goal of the season for Hunter Gorski, who has played in every minute of Tampa Bay Rowdies football this season. So Toronto once again find themselves behind. Keep up to date with all of the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. So 15 minutes for Toronto to potentially equalize. But that third goal, a bit of a dagger for Toronto, as they'd had some opportunities and were just one goal away from potentially being able to secure their first victory of the season. It's an uphill battle again. Icam Andrews played in. Johnson was there, and it took a deflection off Makenda Weary. And it's going to be a Toronto corner. And you could kind of feel this type of game coming. Tampa Bay, 5 consecutive road games without a goal. Toronto, no goals at home this season. Of course, it's, or at least in Toronto, in 3 games in Toronto, 1 goal in a home game in Rochester. And of course, we've got 5 this afternoon, 3-2 Tampa Bay here in the 77th minute. That pass picked off. Uccello wins it back. That was Gorski who picked it off, and then a little bit aggressive coming together with Uccello. Substitution will come here from Tampa Bay. It is going to be Georgi Hristov, the team's leading goal scorer, who is coming in for Jochen Graf. Graf struggling to create separation this afternoon, went offside at least 3 times by my count. And it's a good offensive weapon on the bench to have for Neil Collins to insert the team's leading goal scorer up by a goal as he goes offense here with his 3rd substitution, perhaps looking for that insurance marker. There's Rocco Romeo, fights through one marking, able to push it to the far side for Petrasso, tried to bulldoze his way through a pair of Rowdies defenders. Wins a throw-in, and we will get the 3rd and final substitution for Toronto. It's going to be Malik Hamilton making his Toronto FC2 debut. And Dante Campbell put in a good 78-minute shift. Scored a goal, his first as a professional. got Toronto on the board. Malik Hamilton, as I mentioned, making his first appearance for Toronto FC2. Born in Calgary, came from the West Ham United Academy. Signed with Toronto FC2 in March of this year. Appeared in 25 matches, scoring 1 goal for the under-18 West Ham United Academy team.
Get something, get something. Yeah, get something, we're done.
Toronto will throw as we approach 80 minutes played here at BMO Field. Both teams have used all 3 substitutions, so the 22 men we see on the pitch right now are going to be the 22 who will finish it over this final 10 minutes, 15 seconds, plus whatever time is added on. And Haristov is in offside. Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released, and see where your team sits after its most recent results.
Hands, boys, hands! Cut it out, cut it out.
Yes, Georgie!
Ristov winning the free kick there. A confrontation with Rocco Romeo. Tampa Bay really slowing the pace down here inside the final 10 minutes. Not surprisingly, Icam Andrews forces a giveaway there. Malik Johnson stumbles over the ball and then couldn't find it. It was to his right and he pivoted left. Andrews took a stumble as well after he forced the turnover. There's another offside flag raised against Tampa Bay, and the Rowdies bench is incensed. And they will get a talking to from both the referee and the 4th official. And Neil Collins now stepping forward to take responsibility and try and calm things down on that Tampa Bay bench. Zerbal. Faria. One back by Guanzati. Free kick to Tampa Bay. Prior to that offside interaction, I guess we could call it, a glorious potential opportunity for Toronto with Icam Andrews forcing a turnover about 30, 35 yards out, and had Malik Johnson with him, and the pass just did not connect. And you could see the potential there for Toronto to get a scoring opportunity that might have drawn them level again. Six minutes to go, plus added time. It's pushed out by Lakowecki. Into the hands of Fitzgerald, off the head of Johnson. Five minutes to go. Serbal able to toe the line, then loses possession there. And Serbal able to knock it out off of Schaefer, so Toronto will get the throw. There's an opportunity. Andrews not able to get there first. It was Johnson who crossed it in. Faria tripped up by Guenzati. Free kick to Toronto inside the final 3 minutes before we get to stoppage time. There's Johnson. Johnson turns the corner. Again, the cross is headed away, this time by Makandawiri. And here's an opportunity for Junior Flemings. He's in behind the Toronto back line to ice it. He does. Junior Flemings, second of the night in the 88th minute, restores a 2-goal lead for Tampa Bay. And it starts deep in Tampa Bay territory. And a misplay by Brandon Onconi allows Flemings to get in behind everybody. Just him and the keeper, and he made no mistake. His second of the afternoon. He's now down in some discomfort inside the 18-yard box. Exhausted after that long run that resulted in his second of the afternoon, second of the season, and gives Tampa Bay a 4-2 advantage late in this game. And with Tampa Bay out of substitutes, they'll be down to 10 men momentarily here as we get one more look at Junior Fleming's insurance marker for Tampa Bay. Good job to read the situation. Flemings looks all right. He's heading back towards midfield. And now just waiting for the signal to return to play. There it is. He's back in. Andrews. Faria. Receiving word there will be 4 minutes of added time once we get to that 90-minute mark in 15 seconds. We are into stoppage time now.
Before the official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of time added to the second half.
Tampa Bay on the counter once again. Referee says play on. Cello, Romeo. Tampa Bay looking for another. Comes onto the near side for Guinzatti. Patterson Sewell will grab that. Offside flag is up on Malik Johnson. Nearing 3 minutes played of stoppage time. 4 were initially added on, so we are just over 60 seconds away from the conclusion of this afternoon's match. A spirited second half. 2 goals in the opening half by Tampa Bay. Toronto scoring twice inside the first 18 minutes of the second half to draw things level. But 10 minutes after that, first goal of the season from Hunter Gorski. A volley header off a free kick. A beautiful set piece from the Rowdies. gave the visitors the lead. They would not relinquish, and Junior Flemings iced it with in the 88th minute. Opportunity for Toronto dies there on the foot of Malik Johnson. Uccello was in the area as well. Boskovic and Flemings. Aggressive challenge there from Boskovic. Free kick to Tampa Bay. I think Junior Flemings, probably the man of the match for the Rowdies this afternoon. Scored a pair of goals, including the insurance marker. Got things going on Tampa Bay's second goal in the first half. And was really engaged in a battle on that right side with Kyle Bjornathan throughout the first half. And there is the full-time whistle. Tampa Bay snaps its 5-match road losing streak. They had not scored in 5 road matches consecutively heading into this afternoon. They pot 4 today at BMO Field. And unfortunately for Toronto FC2, the streak continues. They are still in search of their first victory of the season, and the losing streak now spreads to 5. A pair of goals from Junior Flemings, Michael Nanshoff, and Hunter Gorski as well for the visitors. Dante Campbell's first as a pro, Malik Johnson's first of the season for Toronto, but it was not enough for the Young Reds. We'll be back to BMO Field to wrap things up right after this. Full time at BMO Field, the goalkeepers exchanging notes after a match that maybe wasn't so kind to the keepers. 6 goals combined. Unfortunately for Toronto, 4 of them are from the visiting Tampa Bay Rowdies, and it's a 4-2 victory for the side from Tampa Bay. Back inside our broadcast booth one final time, I'm Matt Antonio here to wrap things up following Tampa Bay's 4-2 victory over Toronto. Well, we've seen some low-scoring affairs here in Toronto, here in Ontario for Toronto FC2. They had not scored a goal in Ontario heading into this afternoon's match. They did score twice. Unfortunately, for the second time in 3 games, they conceded at least 4 goals. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights. Starting things off, Junior Flemings, first of the day, first of the season, got the Rowdies on the board. Bit of a broken play here, ends on the foot of Michael Nanshoff, a left-footed strike, beats the Toronto keeper, 2-0 Tampa Bay at the half. Toronto able to get on the board, as an innocent-looking play ends with Dante Campbell's first for Toronto FC2. Luca Uccello with a great play to feed Malik Johnson. His first of the year drew things level at 2. 10 minutes later, Hunter Gorski put the Rowdies ahead, and there is Junior Flemings' second of the afternoon. The man of the match for me is Junior Flemings. 2 goals on the afternoon for the Jamaican, formerly of New York Red Bulls. So there are your full-time stats. 6 goals, 26 shots, 10 shots on target. Toronto more possession in that second half as they chased the game a little bit, trying to find an equalizer. Ultimately, they could not. Tampa Bay got the insurance marker, and that's our final score from BMO Field. After this, Tampa Bay will head home for their next match. Toronto onto the road to Ottawa on Wednesday for the first installment of the 401 Derby. We will not be back with you here in Ontario for a broadcast until June 27th. That's a Wednesday evening as well. For Kyle Hall and our entire production team, I'm Matt DiNicolantonio. Thank you for tuning in. Good afternoon from BMO Field. Have an excellent Saturday night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.